Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tanya. This is my little baby girl, Samara. She is joining me today. She's my little shadow today. Right here, you might be able to see his head. This is Twisty's big fat head right here. To my right, you don't see them, but we have Violet and, oh, Tika just went away. So we have Twisty, Violet, and Samara. If you're curious, like, how I choose my names at all for the cats, Samara, obviously after The Ring, I love that movie. I'm a big, huge horror movie buff. Twisty got his name from Twisty the Clown on American Horror Story. So there you go. Oh, she's laying on my lap now. So today I'm going to react to a video that was suggested in my Discord like a while back. There's a whole bunch of suggestions in there, so I was just kind of scrolling through. Oh, the dog one's in. I was just kind of scrolling through to see what all the different suggestions were, and I thought this one looked really interesting, so this is the one I chose. It's called The Differences Between USA and New Zealand. It's kind of a long video, but we'll get through it, and I'll try not to talk too much, although I am talking too much right now. And his channel is called toniaelkins. I actually don't know how to say that. So you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started on this video and see what he has to say about the differences between USA and New Zealand. Just showing you, I have a Twisty like literally right in front of me here, so. All right, anyway. Okay, here we go.
So, what's going on with y'all, man? Look, the main differences from New Zealand and America. Now this girl came and hit me in my DM, man. Her name is Kiwi.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We have a fly issue right now and it's driving me nuts.
Girl, and she asked me, she said she moving to Texas in about 2 to 3 months. And she asked me, what do I think the main culture shocks would be for her coming from New Zealand? Now, before this video started, I really thought about it. What would be the main culture shock?
New Zealand to Texas. Texas is a big state, so you can't really like pigeonhole Texas into one type of thing. Like people think Texas, cowboys, cowboy hats, and you know, bull riding and all that stuff. But the truth is, there's other areas of Texas that are like less like that. You know what I mean? So every state is kind of, or every area has its own sort of thing going on. But it is very much Southern cowboy stuff in a lot of areas. There goes Twisty. I lost my cats. They're still on the table. They're just over there.
For somebody moving from over there to the States. And I think the main thing would probably be the fact that everything is far away. Everything is further away than it is over there, man. Like you can drive 2 hours and still be in the same city.
It's true.
Especially in these big cities, man. A lot of stuff be spread out and whatnot, bro. So you're gonna need a car for real. It seems like in the States, you really do need a car. Unless you live in the city specifically only, you don't plan on going far out. But typically,
like if you're coming to the US, even just for, like to visit, you do need to rent a car. Like unless all you're gonna do is spend all your time in like New York City and you can take the subway and taxis, or if you're just gonna go to Chicago, you have a very good, you know, train system there in Chicago. You can get around anywhere. It's very good. There might be some other ones spread out around the US, but hello, Tika. But yes, you do need a car.
you're gonna need a car, bro. You're gonna need a car for sure. Unless you're in New York or something like that, you're gonna need a car. That's probably the biggest culture shock. Now, the main differences I noticed living in New Zealand and America, we're gonna start it off with the females, man. We're gonna start it off with the females, Matter of fact, before that, I'm gonna say this, living in New Zealand, for the days that I was there for 12 days. I felt so much safer, just that.
Did he say living in New Zealand for 12 days? Does he live in New Zealand or did he visit for 12 days? I'm confused.
Right there has so many other benefits and byproducts and side effects and domino effects, bro. Feeling safer in general, it does so much else that you can't even really point your finger on, man. It's like unspoken things that benefit from you feeling safer in general. So with that comes along not feeling the environment around you, it just feels more calm, more quiet, and just less stressful, man.
I bet.
The air is more clean, man. I like it over there, bro. Now let's get to these differences. The main biggest difference when it comes to the females from New Zealand and the females in America is, in New Zealand, you don't really see too many dimes walking around like that. You don't see too many what you would call baddies walking around like that. You don't see too many really like super fine women. You don't take that for granted if you in the States, bro. You gonna.
Now here's the thing. I think that probably other countries don't, as much as the US, go all out with their looks and try to outdo each other and try to be the perfect person and try to look like a freaking doll or a Barbie or a Kardashian or something. Like, that's an issue that we have in the States. And I know that they have it in like the UK and like it's spread out, and then there's other people in other countries to do that. But in the USA specifically, it's really bad. Me personally, I'm not interested in plastic surgery and like being perfect and looking perfect and like all of that. Like, I don't know. I think there are other countries that care more about other things that are more important.
See that a lot in the States. As soon as I came back, my first day in the States, I went to the park to go for a 2-mile run, and I seen like more women just walking around that looked super good than I did my whole time in New Zealand. Not to say there is no beautiful women in New Zealand, because on the other hand of that, over here in America, you will see a lot more fake bodies over here too. In New Zealand, you do not see a lot of fake bodies. You don't see, at least I didn't see a lot of fake bodies, and I didn't see a lot of crazy makeup. I didn't see a lot of fake wigs and whatnot. It's probably over there, but walking around, I didn't really just see somebody with like an outlandish purple wig, green or purple blue wig, just walking around the store. As soon as I came back to the States, I seen a lot of wigs, you know, down to the calves and whatnot, stuff like that. You don't see that over there in New Zealand. So from when I was over there in New Zealand, I could catch a vibe that most of the girls over there, not saying that they not no bops over there, but it is more common that you probably will find somebody that's down to earth and genuine over there for sure than it is over here. I noticed that. I agree. For sure. Even just when I was just a couple warehouse employees, a couple warehouses like what you would call they Walmart over here, but it's pretty much a Walmart. A couple warehouse employees, they was pretty like cute, you know, like you don't really see too much of 9 out of 10s, but they make up for it in the other ways, bro, that I personally value, man. Like just the down to earth, the genuineness, the personalities and stuff, man. Also, when it comes to the females over there as well, the New Zealand accent, bro. If you don't know what the New Zealand accent is, don't Google it. Go there for yourself. Talk to some Kiwi girls or whatever. Listen to them yourself, bro. The New Zealand accent.
Dang, that win.
I think it's rated the #1 most beautiful accent in the world. I get it now. At least on the females. I think the guys, if you have a New Zealand accent, not across the board, but for the guys that has a New Zealand accent, you can sound softer. I noticed like you can sound more sweet depending on how you use the accent, depending on the tone and everything. I have seen the accent and I'm like, damn, I couldn't take bro serious if he was to get mad because of that accent.
I understand what he's saying there. That win in his video, dang, it's loud. I understand what he's saying though, like some people's accents, like they have the same accent, but like everyone sounds different because you're your own, you know, person. Kind of like, you know, you go to Chicago and everybody kind of knows that weird Chicago accent and everything. But when you walk around, everybody there's not going to have that accent just because everyone's different, you know. I love the New Zealand and the Australian accents.
And then who got the accent, okay, you know, still a man and whatnot. So that's one thing. That's the main difference between the females. You're gonna find probably more surface level in America, more genuine, down to earth in New Zealand.
I agree.
To each his own.
Although it also depends on where you go in America, and I'm sure it also depends on where you go in like New Zealand and Australia and UK and all this. But just like for me specifically, because I'm from the Midwest, you're gonna find more down-to-earth people in the Midwest part of the states, I would say. You find them in every state, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, in the middle of America, we are more of the like the down to earth like type people. You're gonna find crazy people in the Midwest too. I'm just saying, like, basically the Midwest has very, very down to earth, low key people.
Another thing is, one thing I noticed in New Zealand, man, they have a lot of bike lanes over there, man.
Oh,
Okay.
bike lanes. Yes, that's speaking of bike lanes. I live in a city that's like a Twin Cities in Illinois. It's where there's lots of different Twin Cities. There's not just one, but they're like connected. The two cities are, and one of the cities, my cousin is the mayor of. He's been the mayor for like 20 years or over 20 years. Technically, he's my mom's first cousin, so he's like my cousin. But anyway, he put in bike lanes in that city, and so now that city has lots of bike lanes.
Let's say one thing. You're gonna get a vibe that whoever is running things over there, they care for the people more than you realize in the States. And a couple of those things that highlight that is the fact that there's a lot of bike lanes over there. So you know, people who's actually walking, who doesn't have a car, they actually have places to, you know, travel on. I seen a bike lane on the highway, bro. I seen a bike lane on the highway. I see a sidewalk almost everywhere over there. In the States, bro, even growing up, a lot of places, this gym that's by me that I'm about to go to, there's no sidewalk over here, bro. It's a lot of places in the States where there's no sidewalk. People just walking. You walking right next to a whole bunch of cars riding past you. No F's given for real.
You
bro.
see that
So
everywhere here.
Another thing that I noticed that, you know, they might care more about the people is when it comes to their food and stuff, they disqualify a lot of ingredients that's allowed to be over here in the States, like a lot of foods that are carcinogenic. I don't even know if I'm using that, if that's how you say it, but carcinogens is like things that cause cancer. So we have a lot of ingredients in our food that's other countries they ban, but in the States it's allowed.
I agree that in America we have like shit for food, and other places like care. It seems like they care more about their people's health. Although the States has like delicious freaking food. I'm just saying, like, we have so many cultures here in the States and so many different kinds of food, and it's really, really, really good. But it's just like there's so much sugar and like, yeah.
I don't know. And food and snacks and cereal boxes, they are not excuses when I know it's probably a lot of wind, bro. The colors that you see on the snacks, you might see Skittles, some fruit snacks, whatever it may be, even a Fruit Loops box. They are more bland.
Yeah, they don't have the red dye or whatever.
Because they don't have the artificial dyes, man.
Yeah.
A lot of the reasons why our snacks over here, it pops so bright, is because they have these artificial dyes in it that's bad for the body, man. Even the boxes is not as bright with the marketing and whatnot, man. But speaking of colors, another thing and then to stay on the food though, the food that I have tasted tastes more real. Like I had an egg
real
from, you know, an actual chicken that just hatched this egg like
good.
yesterday or 2 days ago. I have had an egg and it tasted like a real egg, bro. Like I can't even explain it. It just tastes a little bit different. The chocolate over.
I'm just gonna say that literally makes no sense. An egg is an egg. They all taste the same.
They're different, bro. Peanut slabs, the Whitakers, the chocolate, crazy. The differences, the food.
I'm sure the chocolate is different.
Over there is much smaller.
Oh, speaking of chocolate, I just want to tell everybody, everyone always says, like, I always feel like I'm yelling with those on. Everyone always says, ew, American chocolate is so gross, Hershey's is nasty. But the thing is, I feel like some people think that America, like, only has Hershey's, but we don't. We have so many chocolate companies that are not Hershey's, and they're delicious. So just letting you know, Hershey's isn't the only thing. A lot of people in America don't like Hershey's either. We have a lot of really good chocolate here. Okay, I'm just letting everyone know.
Of apple over there in New Zealand, because I really pay attention to, even on their apple bags, it doesn't have like super small fine print. I just noticed the little things, like the fruit is way smaller, the apples is way smaller, more seeds in the apples. You will be able to find healthier options, more common just in gas stations. They have a lot of healthy options. I drive these trucks. I go to a lot of gas stations, a lot of truck stops. You're not gonna go see that many healthy options, bro. It's some out here. It's rare, but for the most part, once again, that's what I'm saying. It's like people don't, like, it's all about really money for real. And you can tell it's less manipulation over there when it comes to trying to understand what you put in your body. Every time I went over there to pick something up, I'm looking at the ingredients. The ingredients might say X, Y, and Z, and then they literally will say nothing else, or it might say that's it. Like, they not playing no games. Like, they know other places might be playing games, but here it's like we not playing no games. This is what's in the food, no manipulation. It feels like whoever's making decisions just care about the humanity of the people more than the states do. Another thing
agree.
Is the big cities, it doesn't feel like you are around them. It doesn't feel like a big city. The big city feels like almost the big city. It feels like it's almost there. You never really get that big city vibe. I was talking to a guy over there. He said he grew up in Rewa. So shout out to bro. He was showing me around Rewa and whatnot, showing me where they shot their music videos and stuff like that. I don't know if you want me to say your name on here, but he was telling me how growing up he used to look at Queen Street. Queen Street is like they main street. It's one of their main streets in Auckland, and that's their main city. Auckland and Wellington, that's like their biggest cities. Now he was saying how growing up he used to think Queen Street was like, Manhattan. He thought it was just crazy, but then as he got older, he realized mentally it was a small mind, because it's not, bro. It's not that crazy. I think the biggest city over there has maybe only no more than 1.2 million, bro. The city I'm in now has over, like, I think 8 times that, bro. So that's crazy. That's crazy. So
I absolutely hate a lot of people around, having like thousands of people. I would not want to live in a city that has 1 million people. You know what I mean? Like, that's too much. That's too much people, too much traffic, too much everything, just too much chaos. Like, I would not want to do that. I live in a city and I get a lot of traffic and stuff, but my city only has 150,000 people. So it's much smaller, like, population wise, but it's a very large city, like, size wise. So with that being said, the whole time I'm driving through New Zealand, I drove in from Auckland to Wellington. That's probably like 6 hours, all in the North Island. That's probably driving from the North Island, the top of the North Island, to the bottom of the North Island. And that 6 hours, wow.
The best views I ever seen in my life, man. Genuinely the best views I ever seen in my life.
I believe that.
And I drive these trucks. So I done been to a lot of states over here. New Jersey, Wyoming, Denver, Colorado, Texas, a lot of states, man, LA. And I've seen some nice views over here. But New Zealand, it just hit different. Now, another difference I noticed is the colors on the grass and whatnot, a lot more vibrant, man. It's a lot more green. The green is just hitting so much more green, man. It's more
green.
Vibrant, man. The saturation is turned up over there. I don't know why. Another thing, though, the colors of a lot of buildings over there is more bright colors. Like in America, you're gonna see a lot of dull. It's gonna be a lot of dull. Even
true.
The colors you do see, you're gonna see a lot of yellow and red. A lot of yellow and red for a lot of fast food spots, a lot of stores. You're gonna see a lot of liquor stores, red and whatnot. You're gonna see a lot of yellow and red. Green here and there. You might see Subway, Whole Foods, or Sprouts, stuff like that. You're gonna see maybe a little blue for like Kroger and Meijer. But you're gonna see a lot of red and yellow, a lot of red, period. And you don't see that much purple, yellow, the colors that make you feel good. I noticed over there, at least in Tauranga, when I was over there, this is where I noticed it. This is where I woke up to. I don't know if it's the whole country like that, but at least where I was at, the colors over there, the buildings, man, very nice colors. Almost like, imagine a preschool.
It would have been nice if he like added a picture of that or something. I have noticed though that in a lot of other countries, just not just New Zealand probably, which I didn't know this was like this in New Zealand, but bright colored buildings and stuff. Like you see that Cuba and Russia and all these different places have very bright colored buildings, and we just don't. We don't have bright colored buildings. He's right; they're all very dull.
Room or something, the preschool hallway, just a bright yellow building right here, burgundy building right here, baby blue building, another baby blue building, green color right here. Just these feel good colors, bro. Colors affect your mood, it affects your environment, it affects a lot of things about you, bro. Colors can manipulate you as well, man. These companies know that though. So a lot of them bright
Yeah.
colors, you notice that even a light pole sometimes will be painted baby blue. Now we might have that in the States, but I haven't been to too many beaches over here to know. I feel like Long Beach might have stuff like that, like they light poles might be painted a different color and whatnot. I don't know. But another difference I noticed, okay, another thing too. So when you living in New Zealand, it's so much, you get reminded so much of Maori that it doesn't feel like it's strictly owned by, you know, white people and whatnot, bro. And that's heavy for sure. Everywhere you go, you get reminded of Maori. So like the vibe and whatnot, the essence, it just feels a little bit different. And I can tell from being over there that it seems like they slowly trying to, you know, change all of that pronunciation from Maori to English and whatnot, man. Use more English words, kind of just completely colonize the area. I can see that happening and whatnot, but it's definitely you get reminded that is you in the Maori land every day. You gonna remember that every day and whatnot. So that's definitely a major difference. You feel that culture all around. Now another thing that I personally value, I notice is different, is that they got this store called Pack and Save, man. Pack and Save is probably like another supermarket. Now this Pack and Save, I've been to a Pack and Save, and on the Pack and Save wall, it says something like, everything in here is locally owned. So, and this Pack and Save building that is, I noticed at least, is in all the cities I went to. I was in Auckland, Wellington, Rotorua, and Tauranga, man. I was in 4 different cities, and I noticed that they got this locally owned, they got this supermarket that everything is locally owned. I noticed they got that in all the cities and whatnot, man. And it wasn't too far from me ever. So that's another thing I like too, and that I value, is that they have these options in here that are locally owned, and it's always a place close to you. Like, you can really just trust what you eating over there, bro. Out here with these trucks, man, I be having to go to a lot of Walmarts and stuff like that. You know that's not locally owned, bro. Most of that stuff be from China, all type of stuff, man. Taiwan, you don't know what the food really be. A lot of stuff we eat, bro, it's just different chemicals put together, and we call it food, bro, really. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Another thing, too.
But it tastes good.
Now, not to say that Americans don't care about certain things, or that people not walking around confident who they are. Not saying that. But I will say this. People over there seem to really not care for real. Like, it doesn't feel so judgmental over there, man. Like, you see a lot of people really just wearing whatever they want to wear and just not caring. Even me walking around and whatnot, I notice I could just wear whatever. People really just don't care. And it's kind of like, I ain't gonna say it's...
I believe that. From what I have seen, from videos that I've watched with New Zealand and the people in New Zealand and all this, that it is like, I noticed that too. Like, they're a lot more carefree, you know. I guess carefree would be a good word for it. And yeah,
I like that over here in the States too, but it's definitely not so judgmental, man. I seen one guy walking around with a dinosaur onesie on, man, and he had a leather jacket over the onesie, and I think he had no socks and shoes on it. He was walking around just with a straight face, like he didn't have on what he had on. You see what I'm saying? Like, over there, it's a lot less judgmental over there, man. I notice as well, a lot of the older people, especially when you need help, they tend to help you and stuff, man. A lot of people don't mind. It's more of a, you find more friendly people. Now, obviously you got the other end of that too. That's everywhere you go, but it's more common you will meet more friendly people over there that's willing to help you, willing to, and it's crazy I say that because since I came back to the States.
Well, I'm just gonna say again, and I've said this in like a couple other videos before, this is his perspective, and everyone has their own perspective of things, Violet. And so whatever he experienced, I completely understand that this is his point of view. He could be wrong about things, he could be right about things. I don't really care either way. It's just that he's giving his opinions. This is his personal opinions on things. I do agree that people in other countries like New Zealand and Australia and stuff probably are a lot more friendly in one aspect, but also Americans are also very, very friendly. And you hear that all the time in videos. Everybody is willing to help everybody in most of America. You're not going to get help maybe in like a major city, but for the most part, Americans are extremely friendly and always willing to help you if you ever need anything. we're actually very happy to help. And we're also very excited when we hear an accent and it's not American, and we love it. we want to talk to you, ask you where you're from, you know, what are you doing here? How long are you here for? Like, I mean, that is the American thing that you're mostly gonna get.
I noticed a lot of strangers over here have been helping me too. So since being over there in New Zealand, it did make me look at where I'm from with a different perspective too. Like, I appreciate this place more, and I also see it for what it really is more too, because I see how other people, you don't have to live this way, you can choose to live this other way. It's a whole nother, you know, it's a whole nother group of people in a different country operating in a different way. So it's really just wherever you choose to stay. So that's pretty much the differences that I noticed. Let me see if I forgot anything on my phone though, hold on. In case I didn't mention, I also wrote down, it doesn't feel like you all over on top of each other over there, man. It feel like you kind of got space and whatnot. You don't feel just completely crowded over there.
But I mean, that's a city
Also,
though. Like,
Air New Zealand. Air New Zealand has a great.
You're not like you're not going to be in crowded places in the States if you're not in the cities, not in the major cities. So I mean, that really only applies to major cities.
Great way of running things. I like Air New Zealand and stuff, but pretty much I enjoy my time over there, man. People been asking me, do I feel like New Zealand was it let down? Do I feel, did it exceed my expectations? I'm gonna say like this: out of 1 through 10, I rate my experience a 12, bro. And I was only there for 12
Wow.
days. When I go back over there, I will be over there for a much longer time, so I could really soak in New Zealand, man, and really just be over there. I like it, I appreciate it. For y'all that live over there, don't take that place for granted. And from me being in the States, I'm gonna remind myself not to take this place for granted too, because a lot of people do look at the States, and you know, they probably look at it the same way I'm looking at New Zealand, but just flipped and whatnot, bro. But I'm going though, y'all. Much love, New Zealand. Appreciate y'all for showing me love, you know, just accepting me and whatnot, man, making me feel comfortable in things. People over there showing love, dropping things off on me. Even this chain I got on is from, you know, somebody over there in New Zealand and whatnot, man. Y'all just been showing love for a while, bro. So appreciate it, man. I'm gone. Let's get it. 2 a.m. Come on, man.
That is so pretty. Oh my God. Unreal. Okay, so that was, I don't know, 2 a.m. He never said his name, so I don't really know how to say it, so I apologize. Anyway, that was an interesting video. Like I said, this is all his perspective. I completely understand that. If you don't agree with something that he says, that's fine. Everybody has their own opinions, and everybody has a right to their opinions. So his perspective is that he appreciates New Zealand a lot more than the States. That is fine. Everywhere you go has pros and cons. So I think people just need to remember that everywhere you go is going to have things that need fixed or things that are working better than other places. So, but it was interesting to hear all his perspective of the differences and stuff. And I do know that everyone is, well, not everyone, but I know that the Kiwis that I have spoken to have been extremely friendly. Same with Australians, extremely friendly. And I don't know. I have noticed that you guys are, at least in my comments, more friendly than Americans. But yeah, this was a pretty long video, so I'm going to cut it here. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video with me. If you did, please give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And also my memberships are on. It's, I think the 2nd month now. So if you want to either renew your membership or if you want to be a member, it's only $4.99 a month, and it really helps me and my channel. It helps support my channel. I also have a Discord that's free if you want to come and hang out with me. It's linked below. And the last thing is I do have a wish list if you're interested in helping support me anymore. And that is also linked below. It's called Throne. It's through Amazon. But yeah, if you're interested in helping me, that would be really amazing. So anyway, but that's going to do it for today. And I will see you guys next time.